All right, so this is part 2 with the Ecclesia stuff, and there's actually one patch here in particular that I want to start off with because there's only one of these, but this is something that I've been thinking about doing for the next pack that could be a lot of fun. This doesn't sound great, but the concept is pretty fun and pretty solid. What I've basically done is created a multi-stage bassline that can be combined into different patterns using the LFO that we have right here. So if you just play this and you listen to the sequence concept, I probably should have put a description in here, but hopefully through watching this video, you'll kind of get the context. But this is meant for basses primarily, but you'll see in other videos and stuff that we can also do this with melodics and whatnot. So if you don't know who I am, my name's Alckemy. We're talking about the Ecclesia pack that I just released. And what we have going on here is a sequence that is bass lines kind of like this. So this thing is pretty cool because if you listen to it, the movement actually isn't being dictated by the LFO itself, but rather what the LFO is controlling. So if we kind of scroll down here and you look at all these things, you'll see that we've got 3 groups. And then if we open up the snap heap rack, you'll see that we actually have 3 different effect racks. And you'll notice that this guy right here is bouncing in between, and what I've done is created a selector knob. So with this LFO, this is controlling the selection of the sequence here, and we can utilize this LFO to make different combinations. So if I go like this, and then I go here, and then I do something kind of like this, you'll notice that the pattern organization will change as it will go from the last selection to the middle, to the bottom, to the middle, to the last section. So check this out. Then if I go and change this back, you'll see that this will do something a little bit different now. So we'll just kind of try to make sure that this is different enough to make a difference with what's going on, but take a listen now. So. So the reason why this is cool is because we are utilizing the movement within these racks here in order to give us something that is going to be unique. So for example, what I have are these different, racks that I made, but if we were to change these out for, say, some of the other stuff that we have, maybe we go into the user and then we go to Ecclesia, and you can use whatever, I mean, the thing is if you have any of my other packs, then you can, Requiem, Eternum, you name it, filter, generator. So let's actually do that. So I'm going to start off with the Ecclesia stuff because that way you'll know what you're getting yourself into. But if I go to the Gilgamesh complex, kind of like this, and I turn this on, and we're just on the first thing here, as you can see, then now check this out. Right now, we're focused on this one here. And so what I can do with this in order to make it a little bit more interesting is I can go into this guy and make this into a Reese. And then I can also change this stuff. So there's some things here. Then if I go back into this guy and open this up, I can also start to change the phrases. So kind of like what I did with the first video, you see that these 3 LFOs play a huge role in how this stuff is shaped, but it's kind of cool because you can see that it's giving you a lot of variation for different kinds of sounds. Don't be afraid to get in here and change this stuff either, because, just messing with it and changing different parameters and stuff will lead you down different roads. I mean, if you really wanted to, then you can delete all this stuff except for one and just kind of utilize that to go off of. But what's kind of cool is that we've got a bunch of stuff that's controlling just the first part of the sound. So let me make this a little bit slower. So I'm like, cool. All right, well, we've got that. Now we can go to the second sequence, which will play off of this one. And now if we go to this guy, you can see that we've got this thing set up. And so we can change this out into, you know, whatever. We can go and do something different now if you have these other packs. So we can go to the cloak filter or something like that and turn this on. And now take a listen to this. Or we can try, you know, some of these other ones. We can go to the Requiem 3 multipass, go to the Aga Baga filter. Don't ask. Close out of that, turn the mix on. The reason why all of this is off whenever you upload them is because they're nested within these patches that are designed to be turned on by macros. So I'm sorry if that's annoying. Somebody asked me about that, but what can you say? But some of this stuff is LFO'd versus random. So then we can go to the third one, or something else that we can do is actually go back. And then now on this, we can actually change this into maybe like a glitch generator. So if we go to some of this other stuff, maybe even, where are my generators at? Clunky filter. Let's go here and go to Alckemy generator. Now, whenever we turn this on, you're going to hear that the mix is right here because this was with an older version of multipass. But yeah, you'll hear that we've got different stuff. Cool. So we go to the third one now, and now stage 3 can be something completely different. So we can do, I don't know, Avalon filter. Actually, let's go for something that's within this. We can go Gilgamesh complex, turn this on, and now we've got 3 different stages of what this is doing. So we can open this up. And on this guy, we can actually change this into something a little bit different. So now if we go back to this LFO, we can kind of turn this back on and let this run its course and be able to select between all of these. So now take a listen. Pretty cool, right? So again, this is just in its genesis stages, but you know, just kind of showing this to you and being able to kind of showcase how this works, I think is going to make you get a lot more mileage out of this. Now, the other thing that I've included just as a free bonus for fun is this is a melody maker, and very quickly I'll show you how to make melodies in here. So first off, what you need to do is grab a remap, and then you need to send this into here in divisions of either 12 or 24 or 48. Yes, sorry, 24 or 48. And then what I've done is I've set this to 12 and made this bipolar, so that way it's 12 up and 12 down. That way it's not going to be too crazy. Now with this, if you have this set here, what we can do is set this to a scale. So that's what this looks like. And then you need an LFO or something to control this. Something that I like to do is to open this up and create a wavetable LFO that's in steps like this in order to create different melodies. And so the way to do that is to grab the pen tool here, and to create a shape kind of like this, we need to grab the magnet tool because that's going to help us create these steps. But if I double click on this and utilize that, now what I can do is just double click in the spots that I want it to, maybe, and move this up and down, kind of like so. Boom, boom, bang. Okay, move that there. Move this here. Move that there. Create a shape here. Go like that, and then make one down below. So we need one more right here. And then I guess we need another one up here. There we go. So now we have that. Let's go to the other side and create something completely different. And just kind of utilize this to move that up. Maybe. There we go. Sometimes it's a bit wonky and you got to mess with it, but you want to create a couple of lines here. If we move over to this side, you'll see that this segment is highlighted now. So that means that that'll create an extra one and that'll move that up. And we can utilize that. Now you might run into a problem here, which I will explain in a second, but until we get there, let's go ahead and finish this up. So I'll move this all the way down, move that all the way down, move this up. Maybe here. And then just try to make this somewhat in opposition of what the other one was. Because now if you take a look at this, boom. Now we do have one problem, which is right here. And when this fades and kind of works in between kind of like this, we don't really want that. I don't want that because I don't want a pitch bend. If you do want a pitch bend, then that's totally fine. But what we need to do here is go into crossfade from all of these and go into spectral and oops, maybe not spectral, maybe linear, and then make this kind of do the whole thing, but we need to select all of this and go cancel, highlight this, spectral, linear. There we go. Now you can see that everything is working in the way that we want it to. If you do want to do something cool, then you can go spectral, and that's going to create this crazy fire looking thing. But we'll just leave it as linear, and that should solve our problems with what we're wanting to do. We hit done, and now look, we've got all of these different melodies that we can kind of sort through that are all maybe subtly different, but still enough to where if we turn this on and maybe even just turn this off and just listen to this, check this out. So now if we go back into this and we turn these basses on, then we can kind of even modulate this if we want to, or we can, you know, just let the sequence play out and kind of have fun just creating cool sequences of what this is supposed to do. So pretty cool, right? And then of course you can go back into this and change anything in here in order to make it more interesting. So this is definitely something to just kind of have fun and spend time with. It's not really something that's meant to help you write your next track. But yeah, I wanted to include this, and maybe I'll do more sequences and stuff in the future kind of like this, but it was a lot of fun to make, and I hope that you get some value out of this. And you know, if you have any suggestions on how I can make this better, I would actually love to know, because well, that's just what we do here. So anyways, that was part 2 with the Ecclesia pack. Next, we'll be looking at more melodic stuff. So hope that you stay tuned. Again, you can get this pack at alchemy.com, both in standalone for $30 or in a bundle, which includes Requiem 1 through 3 and Ecclesia for $120. You end up saving $30. So thanks everybody. At the very least, could you like the video? I'll see you on the next one.